How's everyone doing tonight? Right. I see two is on. Welcome everybody to another Q&A live stream. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. I don't know if you can hear everything. Good evening, Wade. Brandy, Wade, good to see you. Thanks for coming out. How's everyone doing this evening? I'm good. Well rested for a change. Enjoying a coffee and a smoke. My wife's in the background watching the news. We're glued to the set over the whole beer bug. I'm glued to the set because of the 23rd, what's going to happen in the throne speech, other things too. How's everyone else this evening? I see three is on. Don't be shy. Like every live stream I do, I'm an open book. Try to give the best of my opinion, the best way I know how. And if I don't have an answer for you, I'll try to get an answer for you some other time. Good to see some healthy responses out there, which is nice. I'm seeing more people sign on. Oh. Oh, wow. A few more people have signed on. Great. Don't be shy, folks. I was going to put some music on there later, but the speaker for the camera is different than the speakers I have set up for my podcast, so it sounds a little muffled. So I'll have to make do with just, my dialogue. Sorry. Mr. Is it Biscull or Bicycle? Mr. G. Bicycle. Well, that's great. I'm glad. Thank you. I enjoy doing the work. It's taken me a couple of years, but it's getting better. But thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. Doug Rodenbush, my thoughts on the Integrity March. It was bound to happen, and luckily there was no violence. There was no incidents, thankfully. I've read some articles in regards to that march. Some people saying yay or nay, but needless to say, it was good to see roughly 5,000 people marched in Parliament for it. That's fantastic. Wish I was there. You were there, Wade? Right on. What was the vibe like, Wade? Was it a good vibe? From the footage I've seen, it looked really good. Lots of energy. Yeah, I can figure that. So, excellent. And no issues with the cops or Antifa or the Antifa or the communists, Reason I pause a lot, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm not at super chat status yet, so I can't see highlighted comments just yet. I need a few more visual hours, and so I need my viewers out there to watch another 1,000 hours of my stuff if you can. And if you do, then I can start getting paid, which is nice. So I can imagine the Ottawa police, because like I've said in numerous episodes there, Wade, I know a few Mounties and a few OPP that are really realistic when it comes to gun laws. I know because I served with some of them while they're in the Army. So Yeah, that's right, Doug. I watched a bit of the live stream too in between doing my odd jobs. Yeah, it was just a good turnout. Well done. I would say no violence, no BS, just all around good. Here, this is what we're doing. Here we are. But I don't know if the government's taking notice or not. We'll have to see come the 23rd. You know, but I know the petition was roughly, I think, 240 plus thousand signatures, the highest on record, I think, since World War II. I think there was a petition done in regards to conscription, I think, if I'm not mistaken. That was done towards the end of the war, that there was something like 260,000 signatures on it to end it or something like that. So I could be wrong. I may be thinking of another war or another country. Anyhow. Brandy, are you the one that sent me those emails in regards to the capital letters? Oh, okay. All right. Wasn't sure. Wasn't sure if I had to call you D or call you Brandy, but that's okay though. Yes, I'll keep that in mind definitely for a future episode. But like I said to you, my focus right now, at least in the next week, is to look forward to the 23rd throne speech. I might do a live stream there, just hook up my phone and as I watch the television and get furious. Who knows? Because based on last throne speech, I'm not impressed. Okay, well, I'll just call you Brandy then for sure. But I'll know when I get another email for good information. I'll keep that in mind. Yep. So if you can, folks, if you get your free time, whatever, just take a look at any of my recent episodes, and by all means, just load it up, listen to it, whatever. Give it a half hour, give it an hour. I need the hours accumulated, hopefully by the end of September, so I can start getting paid. That's if YouTube decides to pay me or not. But I put a lot of work into these episodes. Live streams, I'm going to try to do live streams every 2 weeks. So you, my subscribers and fans alike, get some insight, get a question in or two, whatever you like. Keep the conversation going. Don't be shy, folks. Ask away. Ask away. It's been an interesting week in Canadian politics, especially with the beer bug, right? And government stepping in, threatening fines and all that good stuff. Hey, not a pot to piss in, but there's lots of time to take money from people. Well, I hope not to get shadow banned. I don't want to get shadow banned. I'd like to make, some money out of this because like I said in my last episode, I was laid off from my job. So I was the new guy, so I had to go. Pecking order, right? Oh, hey, Wicketer, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, you're right, Biscoe. A lot of people are getting shadow banned, or there's some regulation, or there's some other format, and yet, okay, we'll just call it moving the goalposts, right? Good to see you, Wicketer. Doug, honestly don't think it will affect the path the Liberals on. True. The MSN, of course, they want to carry their mandates, and who knows? Trudeau is on this buying spree. We all heard about the $221 going to Black entrepreneurs. In my last episode, I do my little take on that. So I've noticed that, Biscoe. I've had to resub a few channels too. There's a music channel I like that puts on some, what do you say? It's a Royal Marine Marching Band, like the British Marine Band. And they do some classical interpretations. And when I go for long drives, I'll put that on just to feel, and I've had to resub to that channel a few times too. Interesting, eh? So. Well, thanks, Doug. I appreciate that. Yes, you can reach, like I say, I leave links to contact and everything too. I have all the links. You can contact me. I'm on Twitter. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, so you can reach me through there. You can reach me through here too, and on Podbean when I put an episode up. And I'm also on Canund.com. It's a new kind of social platform, less censorship, less shadow banning, a little more integrity, a little more honesty, and lots of Canucks are on that page too. So check them out. They're good people there at Canund.com. So I have all the links in my description, especially in my last video too. You can check that out. So, but I appreciate that, Doug. Thank you very much. That means a lot to hear that. I just want to get out there and get the word out. It's what I fought for. It's what my brothers and sisters fought for. It's what my grandparents fought for. And every day, I feel this is being compromised. Now, even this format here, Stephen Gilbert the other day was talking to the press in regards to begging big tech to censor hate speech and what have you. And I'm thinking, what's the heritage minister have to do with what we do online? Okay, is our heritage being compromised? Yeah. So something to think about, isn't it? No. Well, Doug, I also have a recent episode up too. Yeah, you could say that, Biscoe. The left is trying to mute the truth. The past month, I have been engaged with a few commies on my Facebook page. It's quite entertaining. Some of the things they say about the proletariat and how capitalism is so bad and evil. Yeah, I think we know better, don't we? But just some of the logic that these clowns promote, right? They forget how good they have it. They forget what put clothes in their back, who raised them, how many opportunities they had compared to the opportunities I had, compared to the opportunities my parents had, and definitely the opportunities my grandparents had. So, Tommy, how you doing? Good to see you. Well, Wicketer, there is some viable alternatives to the tube. Like I said, there's Canund.com. What I'll do is I'll send you a link there. And Wicketer, you can try yourself out there, by all means. You'll have more there for sure. That's a good site. Apparently BitChute. I've been hearing left and right about BitChute lately. I don't know. I know Vimeo used to do a good thing, but last time I tried Vimeo, I got a lot of this technical garbage. So yeah, check out Canund.com. It basically same operation, same kind of operation MO as Facebook, but choices. You can put your videos up. You can put this up. You can share this. You can share that. Yeah, try it out. You can try those guys out. Tell Scott, if you ever talk to a Scott, that Crusty sent you. He'll know. Right, so. Good bunch of guys there, Well, random guy, I do try to post on all of my platforms, But for people that are having trouble with the tube, they have choices, right? I hear that, Wicketer. Yeah, I hear that quite a bit. Yeah. Uh, I've tried the Wimkin social site, and apparently they're down now. I use Parlay too. So every time I make a new video, I try to get in all of my above mentioned, get it up there. I do my Facebook, I do it my Twitter, I put it on my Instagram, and I put it on Parlay and Canund and Wimkin. I tried them out too. Now their page is just blank. I don't know. I can't reach the site now. So maybe someone got offended. Maybe they got too big too fast. Someone got intimidated. I don't know. But try to get it all there. My opinion on O'Toole. Well, I was happy that he won because he proves to be a good opposition, but I'm not happy about him catering to Quebec and the Paris Climate Accords. I'm not. I don't believe any one province in this country deserves any special treatment. Sorry if I have some Wexiters out there. I can see why Wexit is a thing, but I don't believe in pandering to one province. I believe in pandering to all provinces. Right? Muslim Brotherhood. Let's just say, Tommy, no. 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 I've heard business shadies too. I've heard a little deals here and there, but it's tough to say. From what I can say now too is that it's good to have the healthy opposition, but I also find the PC brand is the same as the Liberal brand, just thicker on one side. Just think of a thick coin, but the PC being a bit thicker on one side. So. Well, that's the thing, random guy. I can't make a short video. I could do some comedy, which I'm going to be working on in the future, but, Wouldn't surprise me, Tommy, what kind of connections is going on. I looked at O'Toole because he speaks like a veteran, right? Sure, he's got a background in law, but he also served. So I give him an ode to that, not just because of that, but because he knows, right? He also knows what our military needs, too. Right? Oh, I could, random guy. Yeah. Like I say, I'm at this couple of years now, so I'll stick with what the format I know for now, and then go from there. So, well, yeah, he was Air Force, but he was also on the Sea King. We also know the story of the Sea Kings. So I give him for that, for putting up with that piece of garbage. Yeah. My grandfather remembers when that helicopter was new. Well, that's the thing, random. Things are broken. I'm getting more subscribers, getting more views. So it's getting there slowly but surely, just chugging away. I'm not going to answer that, Tommy. No. I think I missed a question there. Just give me a sec here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Brandy Lawson. You send weekly emails and phone calls to elected and unelected officials. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I've noticed that too. They would always call us for money, right? O'Toole's office called. Sloan's office called. Leslyn Lewis's office even called. And, well, that's the thing, Brandy. They Resonate with a lot of Canadians too. But I also think that people were afraid because we're living in a day and age now where you can't speak your mind over this group or that group because you're automatically deemed as a racist. Now, I give kudos to Lawson for asking Tam, where do your loyalties lie? And really, where do they lie? And considering what, 2 weeks ago, it was her office that said, wear a mask when you have sex. What? Encouraging glory holes? Really? Well, that's safety. Holy shit. The way I look at being a true Canadian is just loving your country and letting everybody do what they want to do. Of course, under the guise of the law, right? I'm not saying go and smash your neighbor over the back of the head with a lawn chair, but let people flourish, let people be, let people thrive, Let people do what the fuck they want to do. Basic liberty. How else do I sound it? Like I have conservative values. I have traditional liberal values too, right? But on the political spectrum, it's liberty or it's nothing. I don't believe you need permission to build on your property, considering you have to beg, borrow, and steal to get a mortgage to own said property, and now you got to pay rent on that via municipality, and some municipalities will sit there and charge you money to build on it. No, I don't buy that. Yeah, Took smashing. Yeah, exactly. Good old hockey fight. So, you nailed it, Kiprioth. Yes, classical liberalism is deemed as far right now. That's a new buzzword, right? Second wave of neoliberalism or second wave of so-called beer bug. Right? I agree, Robert. Some neighbors might deserve it. No. Oh, yes, the corona. My corona. Yes, so they projected. It's funny how they can project the second wave now, and yet they couldn't give you a straight answer back March, April, and May. Yeah, random guy. Yep, that's funny because I remember my father. He was not a licensed carpenter, but he would build decks. And I remember in the town of Newmarket, he had 4 pieces of paper to fill out just to build, I think it was an 8x10 deck for somebody 2 doors down. Yeah. This is back in the 90s. So, yeah. Well, let's see. If people in my riding vote for VCP, I could reinstate the Homestead Act or fight doing it. That's assuming they call an election come the 23rd, which I'm almost positive they will, right? Yeah. Yes, of course. Why not? Why not? You have a couple acres of land, you can grow things on it, have a couple of sheep, a couple of goats, a couple of cows. Why not? Isn't that what our settlers did? Our ancestors did? What's wrong with that? Not a damn thing wrong being independent, random guy. And a tradesman like yourself, you would flourish very well. Yeah. And who's familiar with the show The Social? That panel, Canada's equivalent of the regurgitated View. Yeah. Marcy Ian is running in Bill Morneau's riding. Wow. I agree, Random. If we could actually be free enough to do things, it wouldn't be an issue. And who knows what this election is going to be? Because if the Conservatives get in, there's going to be cutbacks too. But I'm pretty sure that with their cutbacks, deficits would be paid, right? Exactly, Kiprioth. No one should have a say. I agree with that entirely. And I used to drink unpasteurized milk. Oh no. Well, raw milk is pretty tasty. Especially in a traditional bowl of oatmeal. It's fucking fantastic. Well, as my grandparents used to say, it sticks to your ribs. And it did. Yes, unpasteurized milk. Right from the cow's udders to the cooler, through the milker, yeah, then from the cooler to the house. There you go. It's funny, Brandy, I read that too. But I also read that the Rockefellers had a big hand in the Central Powers during the First World War, and not to mention what the Ford Motor Company and the British monarchy had invested in Germany during the 1930s. So, a cheese cellar would be nice. Yeah. Or an actual root cellar, you know. Yeah, because the milk quotas. The milk quotas are big in Ontario. Yeah. Yeah, that's what gets me with Soros, because a lot of people know his shady backgrounds and what he does and what he did do. Yeah, he might have been only 14 or 15 years old when the Nazis were around, but still he collaborated, right? So, oh, I'm getting big Canada wide here crowd right on. Ontario brandy, yes. Oh, an open society, exactly. You know, simple bartering too. It's like if I have 2 liters of milk, right, and you have something to trade for 2 liters of milk, why the fuck not? Here, I got 20 rounds of 308. Can you give me a liter of milk? Sure. You know? Open society for everybody now. No, I know what you mean. I'm just thinking libertarian stuff here, right? Yeah, actually, I could too. No. Oh, the Soros plan. Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking about open society where we can just be free and do our thing. But who knows what? Oh, socialism. Well, that's obvious. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Where they accumulate the wealth, where they'll dictate who works how many hours a week. Oh, I know that model too well. Trust me. If you guys have seen the interview I had with Susanna there a couple of weeks back, she puts those points together perfectly, you know. Yeah, leave it to big industry to fundamentally fund both sides of any conflict, really, when you think about it. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah. For the longest time, I thought MK Ultra was just an old British football team, you know. So, Well, think of it too. The flu. Think of what happened in World War I as well too. Look at the trenches. Look at the conditions in Europe at that time, right? A lot of rats, a lot of filth. So well, random guy. If they decide to have that kind of open society, then I guess they can have an open carry too. Mhm. Yeah, or concealed carry, or having the ability to have a gun on you. Period. Um, yeah, no doubt. I remember when we did a visit to Vimy Ridge and some of the stories they were telling us at that park there. It was quite interesting, and the stuff they still find every year. Every time they cultivate or plow, they're still finding the odd rack of ammo or the odd bullet or the odd rifle, from so much bombardment. You know. Well, we could speculate exactly what happened, but when I look at Hitler and Stalin, I don't see much of a difference. I don't see much of a difference from any kind of totalitarian regime, whether you call it fascism or communism. It's not good for us. Period. I've actually had so-called history students weigh in saying, "Oh, they're two different systems." No, they're not. Yeah. Random guy, yeah. It wouldn't surprise me how many people love Soros. I know there's a movie coming out called The Obama Gate. So, oh, of course, and BLM funds go to the Democrats too, right? So they're determined to get this election down south. They're determined to get it, and they'll do whatever it takes to get it, as far as I know. Right? Some of the American friends that I've talked to, they're not impressed. They're on the fence. Do they go Republican or do they go Democrat? They don't know where to go because they're not happy with either of them. Right? No. Yeah, demagogue, you name it. It's a shit show. And sadly enough, I think we're creeping that way up here too. I like the fact that our parliament, we have that opposition, and I don't think the throne speech is going to go to the way of Potato Head and Sock Puppet and his whole cabinet of shitheads. So, wickeder than thou, yes. Yes, of course. No, I agree with that, Wickeder. Everybody check out Wickeder's post there. She makes a valid point. Yeah. She sees it in California up close and personal. So, yeah. Have you seen United Spots Nancy Pelosi? I agree, Kiprioth. Yeah, it's nothing like the movement back in the 1960s when there was a cry for civil rights. This is just a Marxism front. It is a Marxist front. Right? They're talking about that, the BLI. Yes, the basic living income or the basic income. And what I don't get is that I can understand if people need it, right? But that is going to be taxed. And if people rely on that one payment every month, then who gets stuck with the tax bills, right? The magical unicorn Canadian currency tree, Equality of opportunity, yes, exactly. I agree with that entirely, Kiprioth. Equality of opportunity, not outcome. And what gets me, there's so many politicians who are adamant, oh, equality of outcome. If that was the case, then they'd take half the pay. Oh, of course, random guy. Yeah, yeah. I remember Malcolm X. I don't remember him saying that, but I remember reading about that. Yeah. And what gets me though too is Malcolm X was killed by his own people too. So, you know. Well, I can tell you, I don't want him as PM. He has, as far as I'm concerned, he had no ground whatsoever to be prime minister. He just never looked at the job as being a leader. Right? The Queen's bloodline? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. But I don't care what Her Majesty's doing. I want to get rid of the Governor General, period. I think it's overdone. We don't need a Governor General. If anyone's going to represent Her Majesty when it comes to Commonwealth stuff, it should be the Prime Minister. Right. I would say he'd probably do better as PM, but again, there's a lot of people out here who'll keep him on his toes for sure. I've seen that, Brandy. Yes, it's quite eerie. Quite eerie. You know, who knows exactly what the truth is, because there are people that still believe in Pizzagate. Some people don't believe in it. But it's funny, in odd tidbits in the news, you're hearing about people being arrested for child trafficking. And a lot of these crack units in American law enforcement are finding out 10 or 15 or 20 kids at a time. And you're going, okay, what's going on here? So, yeah. Well, Dr. Lewis seemed very, very, very grounded, realistic, and I like their stance on the gun rights in this country. They all share the same thing, but Kamala Harris, it's like, I don't know, like I just find her disingenuous and pulling the old race card all the time. I just, oh, look at me on this. Oh, I don't care. What can you do? You know? Yes, I know Margaret and Pierre were quite the swingers. It was the 70s. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I've heard of that, and I don't know, Tommy. I know there was some shady dealings, but I don't know, the truth is still up in the air about that. It wouldn't surprise me if he did, you know. And in fact, it wouldn't surprise me how many well-to-do boys of his generation did stupid things, and things got paid off. So, random guy, it wouldn't surprise me. Who knows? Maybe they had a big cabana down there in 1970 and had a good time, and Fidel accidentally slipped and did something. I don't know. Well, it wouldn't surprise me if Ben Mulroney did something too. Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me. I like Polly's work sometimes. Yeah, when I get a chance, I'll tune into that. Wickeder than thou, cuties. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. No. Yeah, I won't tolerate that cutie stuff. And every time on my feed when I see someone backing it up, I delete that person or I block it. I just no. It's one thing. Like even when you watch that show, Dance Moms, you all remember that show, right? And just the vile actions of the parents, let alone what they're doing to their kids. I was just like, change the channel. No, I agree, Kip. Yeah, it is pedophilia. It's promoting it. How else do you say it? You know, it's promoting it. How else do you say it? Hmm? Yeah, like I remember in high school, you know, when you saw, you know, when you looked at a girl in the class, and said, "Oh yeah, gosh, she's a cutie." That's it. You know, you weren't referring it to little kids. You know, well, no, Kip. I'm not one for banning things too, but I'm also one for people using common sense. You know, and apparently they've lost some revenue because of it. So, best way to hurt a big business is take their money away. You know. I agree, random guy. Teach a kid how to think. You know, I got a couple little nieces I'm worried about. You know, what kind of crap are they teaching in the schools now? Well, I got a few nieces and a few nephews. My mistake. I'm concerned with them. So, yes, the big identity politics, Kip. I know what you mean. Yeah. No, I wouldn't do it, Brandy. Don't watch it at all. Watch other things. Go to Amazon. They've got some better cartoons there. You know. Yeah. I would say that too, Tommy. I would say, you know, the money you're going to spend on public taxes when it comes to public education, hire a teacher, you know, or teach them yourselves, reading, writing, arithmetic, all that good stuff, like our grandparents were taught, and then let the world be their oyster. You know, you know. See, that's the thing. When I look at the Canadian flag, I look at it as an honor to put up. And as much as I agree with people's opinions, whether they love this country or not, put up the flag. Because men and women died for that flag. Right? Well, I agree, random guy. Second working parent, I agree. Cost of living has gone up. But in the same sense, there's got to be sacrifices made. We're not seeing our leaders sacrifice anything, just our currency. And in some cases, our fucking sanity. Well, yeah, it's a municipal grab and provincial grab, respectively. And of course, the federal government has to weigh in. Of course, they'll get their share too. But then the federal government likes to fund post-secondary institutions too, right? So, well, that's worth fighting for, there, Biscoe. Like I said, we'll see come the 23rd. Like I've said in a lot of my episodes, ladies and gentlemen, too, I'm not going to promote violence. I'm not going to promote that kind of hatred. But I hate to say, a part of me says something might be coming. And we might have to fight or flight. Yeah, I've heard that. Another magical carbon tax. Yeah, of course. Fuck. Yeah. Another random tax to save the world because government knows how weather works. No, I agree with you, Wicked. I agree with you, Wickeder. The left down south and the left up here. You know, to quote Robert Downey Jr., don't go full retard, right? Yeah, I know, random. Doug Ford did something right there, telling you as a consumer, this is what you're paying. Is it right? And then all of a sudden, what Ontario Supreme Court says it's unconstitutional. How is it unconstitutional to let people know what they're paying? No. No, you're good, Bisco. Right on. Yeah. Don't forget your spear too. Those are big zombie spears. You're right, Kip. The carbon tax is nothing but a cash grab, you know, because when they first proposed it, what kind of plan do they have in place to assist with the so-called carbon footprint? What do they have in place? What kind of ulterior or what kind of alternative were they working on? You know, are they working on some kind of big generator, a biodiesel outlet where you can buy biodiesel, equip your vehicles to work on biodiesel, or just take more money from you? Yeah. Um, I asked that question when I first heard about the carbon tax. Is like, okay, well, you're going to tax us. So where's this money going? You know, I remember back in the 90s when Maroney put the GST together. And it's like, okay, the GST is for what? So you're increasing more purchasing. You're making purchasing power harder, and you've doubled the price of cigarettes and liquor for what? Oh, yeah, to pay off the deficit. Okay, that deficit was paid off, yet they still have the GST. Okay. Oh, we know it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You know, the more people you have, the more carbon you have in the air. But carbon's good for plants. We know that. That's basic science. That's like grade 6 science. You know. Oh, I agree with you, Kip. That's Dr. Patrick Moore. Yeah, I've listened to his speeches. You know, one of the founder members of Greenpeace, and then he was blacklisted because he was against any kind of carbon tax, against any of it. Right? No. No. Sustainable Development Agenda 21. I've heard something about that. But see, even that does not have a plan. What is the plan? What kind of machines are they building to help people burn less? Well, what concrete evidence do they have? Right? There's there's ways you can harness the energy of tides, actual tides and rivers, and along the coast, right? Which it has proven to be clean energy. I know Denmark has done part of that, right? The actual currents of the water, right? Wind turbines, not so much. I can understand if you have your own personal wind turbine, you know, generate your home, right? But on a big scale, no, no, no. Thorium liquid salts. Hmm. Oof. I don't like that idea. Oh, I agree, Random. I agree. Like, say, if you had your own wind turbine in your yard generating your own hydroelectricity, sure, but the wind turbines you see in Random, are you anywhere near Melanchthon Township, just north of Toronto? Well, if they had a mine that could produce something or a constantly generate thing, I wouldn't mind paying a tax for that, provided that they have qualified people running it, right? Okay. Anyway, no, they have the big wind generators up in Melanchthon Township, just north of Toronto, and you'd see them. It's kind of hypnotic, but in the same sense, you can tell it's a waste of resources. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. On a grand scale, the solar and wind wouldn't be sufficient. But let's say if you had a couple acres of property and you had your own little wind turbine that you could buy online, right? You'd be able to be successful at it for your own personal use, right? So, no, you can't make a bomb out of the waste. No, you need plutonium for that and uranium. The waste, however, that's an issue, but I'd rather deal with nuclear waste than people going broke. Yeah, I've seen those kept around Huron County and Grey Bruce. Yeah. I've seen those. Yeah. Well, it's the cleanest and most efficient. And no pun intended, you get your bang for your buck. Well, my biggest thing with nuclear energy is that it should be guarded, right? So, yeah, I heard about that, Biscoe. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I heard about that solar farm. The thing is, it's the materials that go on the panels too. It's just not glass. It's a lot of plastics. And where do plastics come from? Right? So, mm. I don't blame you, Wade. Please indulge us, Wade. Well, how many kilowatts or kilojoules does one turbine provide for the paying customer? Right? I would agree. I saw something like that too, Kiprith. Yeah, in regards to that, people forget about the Canadian winter. You know, see that's the thing. They use coal and that. Yeah, I've heard of that coal and other petroleum byproducts to make the panels, and not just your typical glass, the old-fashioned way from you know compressing sand. A lot of it's synthetics too, and synthetics are plastic based. So, uh, yeah. So Wade, I have a technical question for you since you work for Sask Power. Now, if you had your own personal turbine, let's say in your property, the one you can construct from a kit you can buy online, would it be more efficient for, let's say, a family of four or a couple rather than worrying about the giant turbines that the county would provide? Well, the thing is, electric cars too, they need the lithium for the batteries, right? Okay. So for personal power support, you're better off with solar. How about biodiesel? Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, because I know you can get tons of kits and you can save like hundreds of dollars a month if you drive a diesel truck and you get a biodiesel conversion. You're laughing at the bank, apparently. Um, I agree, random lithium is better than lead, but in the same sense, mining lithium is a terrible thing too. So, sorry, Kip, but biodiesel seems to be a pretty good alternative in some cases, right? It is. I thought because you're using at least half of it, you're using half of the. Right? Well, I say you can buy the kits online for biodiesel. That's the thing. And there's a formula to make your own at home, provided you're not smoking around it or have any kind of electrical charge. But yeah, I've seen some of the schematics and it looks pretty decent. You know, lots of lie. Yeah, that's what's scary. But if you can make it and get away with it, you know. Oh, the bush would work, yeah, but I don't want to. I don't want to get to that point. You know, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to see violence. I don't want to see catastrophes in the streets. I don't want to see any city in this country turn into a Chaz Chop or Boppy or Moppy, whatever the fuck they want to call it. Like, oh. Sometimes I go on to a podcast down the States called the Fred Stockman Podcast. Young guy to Massachusetts, quite inquisitive, Kiwi American. And we talk about a lot of Canadian American ideas and ideologues. We compare both of our politics. And it was interesting how he weighed in on Chop and Chaz. You know, buffoonery. That was his quote. So it wouldn't surprise me, Kip, how Toronto is now. You know, or as we say, Tirana, right? Funny, when the OSC went in back April 1st, you know, or was it May 1st? Yeah, May 1st. Sorry, April 1st is when we all got the pay raise, and May 1st was their OAC. Yeah, gun crimes went through the roof, right? Hmm. That's a great idea, Brandy. Yeah, natural heat, right? If it's not from the earth, it's from cow turds. That works, yeah. Well, Soros funded Chaz Chop. Sounds like a chain of restaurants. A chain of vegetarian restaurants, yes. Oh, fuck. Chaz Chop no meat burger. Yeah, would you like lettuce? Yeah. Did you see that garden they try to make? It was a video on YouTube there when they were making that garden. They had all that cardboard laid down and that fresh dirt, and then a couple of weirdos were doing interpretive dance or something on it. Just fuck. Hand pumps, yeah. I know you can find those online quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they made a mess of that park. What gets me though is that they figured they could grow some nourishing vegetables with just about that much dirt. No. Oh, thank you, Random. Yes, it's my /study office later on when I start making some money, hopefully. Hint. I can turn this into an actual podcast studio. So, Crusty Cave, you could say that. Yeah, the Crusty Cave. That's an idea. Thanks, Kip. I'll keep that in mind. All right. Yeah, it didn't look like a really good garden, Well, it didn't look like a garden. It looked like a mess. Like, I've seen 10-year-old children do better in gardening than those fucking clowns, Crusty. Ooh, OP Crusty. That could work. Or Fob Crusty. Oh, ooh. Keep getting me ideas here, Kip. Right on. Fob Crusty. Oh, wow. I can do that. Fob Crusty. There's no doubt. When I look at these protesters, right? I have nothing against anyone protesting, but when I look at the way they treated their cities and the way they treat other people, what a fucking abomination. Like, what a fucking abomination. Now, whether they're funded by Antifa or BLM or whether they're whatever private interest group in there, it just no regard for anyone's property, anyone's well-being. Talking about injustice, and yet look how much injustice they caused and created. Fucking, can you say contradiction? No. What I do, folks, I'm going to put a link up there. If you do decide that you would like to donate, please do. If I would receive a donation from at least half of my subscribers, I would be well on my way to getting some great content, some better videos up, and try to make the Crusty Cave or Fob Crusty a reality. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, they're a random guy. Like, just the contradiction, That works. Yeah, that works, Brandy. Yeah, I like that. I like a Beyond Meat burger. Well, fine. You got Beyond Money? Yes. Just give me a sec here, folks. I will get on. Where is it? Here we are. There we are. Just give me a sec here. Let me find my links. If you do want to donate, please do. Every little bit helps. I'm not going to ask for a coin, not like some of the SJWs out there who demand things. But if you can, by all means, please. If you can, really appreciate it. Right for a lot of people. So. It wouldn't surprise me. These Antifa kids, they think they're fighting communism, and they think they are communists, but they think they're fighting fascism, and yet they're doing the exact same thing as Mussolini's black shirts and what Hitler's brown shirts did. The exact same thing. The only thing different is that the fascists of before were dressed better. That's it. Mm-hmm. Oh, exactly. It's the exact same thing. That's what's scary, Wicketer. I've actually talked with my wife about that too, and some of my friends here. And yeah, it looks like if he does, it's going to be more memes of people screaming to the heavens, or people throwing bricks, or Molotovs, or random shots. I don't know. Because what gets me is that if that happens, then it's going to creep up here too. So, in the States, Tommy, you're here. Not for my channel, Brandy. Tell you what, send me an email later. I'll work something out. States, yeah. Well, that's the thing, because I've seen speculation. I've watched a lot of the shit hit the fan pages, a lot of prepper pages, a lot of hunting pages, even just your typical Joe Blow hunter who wants to go out and just get a deer every season. He or she is speculating too what's going on. And, you know, well, the thing, I can see Trump trying to put an end to it, you know, and regardless of how people feel about how he dealt with the beer bug and everything, he's spoken to blue collar people, right? He treats them like adults, doesn't talk down to them, doesn't talk like they're idiots. And when you watch the liberals up here and the Democrats down there, they talk to all of us like we're fucking morons. So, you know, I would say, yeah, I would agree with that, Random. I would agree with that. No. Down the States, Kip, or up here? There'd have to be a shit. Well, there'd have to be a shitstorm up here. I know the Age of Civil Power thing is, you know, it's a big deal. I know Mel Lastman incorporated there when they had Toronto had a big snowstorm. When was it, 99, 2000? So, well, that's why I find Random Guy too. He may not do everything he's promised, but he does a lot what he says. And I don't know what it is with the way the left is working right now. It's just a total 180 to what it compared to what it was 30 years ago. You know, total 180 of what it was 30 years ago. So, no. Actually, a book I have for that is got one of these. I got this through a book club, but I also have my own skills. Slept out in the snow quite a bit. So, well, see, that's the thing with the media too up here, because the moment he was elected, right, it was a total shitstorm up here as well too. But that was ironically just after, you know, our beloved Prime Minister, Potato Boy, gave $600 million to the mainstream media up here. So, well, see, that's the thing. It was proven there wasn't Russian collusion, or if there was, it was minimal. Like, it's like, I don't know what to fucking think, really, honestly. Well, that's the thing. JT is a boy prince. He's fucking Peter Pan. You know, as far as I'm concerned, he's got no right leading anything. His cabinet is based on parity and favors. I don't think any one of those members of the Liberal Party actually merited for anything in their lives. And I'm talking beyond politics. I don't think they've actually merited for something, ever. Right? No, I agree with you, Random Guy. I don't believe there was any collusion whatsoever. I don't believe there was a collusion. You know, I think a lot of it was just media hype. You know? Well, that's the thing. Things are blacked out too, just like the Wee report up here was blacked out. You know, and the Kilburgers were upset because they had to get rid of their assets. Oh no! Yeah. Who gives a shit, right? They should have been honest, you know? Well, see, that's what gets me, though, because every time there's a backbencher, now I know TNC Rebel, Laura Thompson mentioned something too in regards to some little backbenchers saying, hey, you better cut the spending or Canada's going to the fucking poorhouse. I haven't heard anything since, but I don't mind Ezra. Randall, I'm sorry. I met Ezra. He's a down to earth guy. We had a good talk about Chinese communism there when I met him there last year in Edmonton. So, yeah, he's all right. You know, his staff is pretty switched on. I actually applied to work for them, ironically enough. So, well, I'm pretty sure they were told something too, Kip. I'm sure, yeah, told a party liner that's it. Especially the way Justin has treated Ms. Raybould and Ms. Philpott and everybody else who interfered with his plans. Right? Yeah. That's the thing. You know, I kind of figured an election was coming. They all lied about the money. They're random. They all lied. Like, they made such a big stink about we going under, and yet, oh, they helped kids in Ecuador and helped kids here. And great. How about the kids here in Canada? Right? How about with all that money they made, especially with the real estate holdings? Why couldn't they not say spend 25 million bucks on providing clean water filtration for all the reservations in this country that need it? Yeah. Doesn't surprise me, Brandy. There's all these fact checkers and experts that weigh in. Who knows, Kip? It's just a lot of these clowns are going to get shot with a ball of their own shit. RCMP are investigating Ezra. Oh, the XMP. Yeah. Yeah. Gambling debts. And there was actually one that's still undergoing trial, I think, now, too. So. Well, see, that's the thing with our politicians. They're caught lying. They get a slap in the wrist and they get fined $300. That's it. You know? That's it. Oh, no doubt. She was handpicked, Brandy. You know? Miss Lucky is definitely not lucky. And I think she's a terrible example. You know? Yes. His riding, I think, was just north of Guelph, too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Yep. That's basically it, random guy. You know, I think it's $300 or $500 that an MP would get fined when it comes to breaking ethics. But let's say if you and I are facing the Queen's bench and we were caught perjuring, oh, that's jail time. Go figure. Right. Yeah. Even now, Doug Ford says he's going to fine $10,000 to people. He's going to throw the book at him. That was based on CTV's news report tonight in regards to people not social distancing. So, exactly. One law for thee and none for me, right? No. Do as I say and not as I do. Right? That's fine. I prefer not to, though. Random guy. That's good. Okay. Well, I was happy that he got in because Wynn was just a windbag. You know, the whole green plan went to shit, and more debt, more debt, more debt, more debt. You know, but even a collaborator with JT or not, it's just the enforcement. It doesn't matter what party it is. It's like I'm lost for words. No. Well, if there's a civil war, that won't happen. They'll let the criminals out. They'll need fighting men, right? Drawing, yeah, it could be. Yeah. Don't forget to put a hole in the wall. Don't forget your mask. Oh, that's what we get with health units too, because I have a family member who's a paramedic, and she doesn't know what to think anymore. You know, she doesn't know what to think. You know, she has no idea what to think, and it's scary. You know, I keep a mask on me when I'm in my truck, and if I go to certain stores and they say wear a mask, okay, I'll put a mask on. Not a problem. Wash my hands, but I wash my hands all the time. I'm very hygienic. You know, and I just the way some people are, the way they react in public though, it's getting pitiful. You know, and then you treat people like animals and hurt them like animals. They're gonna act like animals. You know, you know. I would say zinc and vitamin D. I take that 3 times a week, so that's always a good thing too. Plus, I eat okay. You know, my biggest downfall. Sorry, I gotta have some vices. I don't drink anymore, so. Oh. I'll say again, folks, too, if you do feel like donating, please do. If you can't afford it, don't worry about it. That's fine. I'm just going to ask because, like every other broadcaster here, you know, there's always links to donations. So please, if you feel like donating, please go right ahead and share this around if you can, too. So. Oh, there's no doubt. I remember those old commercials when we were kids. What was it? What was it called? Topol? The smoker's toothpaste, right? And you see the guy blow through a white shirt. Yeah, yeah. And look at this. Wow. You know? Yeah. Yeah. The old Topo commercial, you know, guy with the cowlick hair. Look at this as I blow through this piece of cloth. You know, the nicotine. This is on your teeth. So much for the anti-smoking campaign of the mid 80s, eh? Topo, the smoker's tooth polish. Yeah. Well, I might shut this down in another 10 minutes, folks. So get more of your questions in if you can. Thank you again for everyone who is coming out. Appreciate it. Keep the conversation going. Like I say, I try to get the live streams up at least every 2 weeks to keep my audience and my subscribers in tune. That way you can ask me questions, see my point of view, and I can get your point of view back and forth the way it should be. Good dialogue, right? So Peanut butter crumb house hippos. I don't remember that. I remember the bonkers candy ads. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, there's lots of conclusions of what kind of particles are going around. I think a lot of it's just a lot of hype. I was having a little conversation with one of my pharmacists today. I was picking up some medication, and he asked me how the podcast was going. I said it's getting there, and he says, "What do you think about all this mask stuff?" And I actually asked him because he's got a medicinal background. He says, "Yeah, the virus is real, but the hype is just." He just says too much, you know. So exactly, random. Whether it's TV or this, you may not believe me. I could be full of shit. So yeah. Well, television it's for ratings, it's for fear, it's for hype. It's done that. Um, you know, we were told about this in high school too when we took media studies. You'll have like say three main news channels, and let's say there's a big accident in the vicinity of these broadcast stations. One station will say 800 people were hurt. Another station will say 900 people were hurt. Another station will say 1,000 or 1,200 people were hurt. Which do you believe? Right? Encouraging you to think for yourself. Find out for yourself. Right? So. I agree with you, Brandy. But, I'll keep masks and everything too because I don't need the hassle from the law. I don't. You know? Well, the only motive I have is speaking my mind freely, doing what I think is right for Canada because I fought for this country. I have family members that fought for this country. God rest their soul. And I love the home and native land. How else do I explain it? There's lots of YouTube channels out there with people, doing really stupid things. And I eventually want to branch off into making the podcast bigger. I'll also probably have a secondary channel where I do some comedy because I'm a big Second City fan and Kids in the Hall fan. So I've actually got skits written down. So little storyboards to go with them and everything too. So that'll be in the future. All right. So exactly, random. Whether you believe in God or not, glorious and free. So eventually, yeah, I want to branch off into do some comedic stuff. So that's why I asked people to donate so I can make some money because I'm actually doing something to earn it. I'm not some random teen or some 20-something girl with elf ears on covering herself in Lord knows what to make a few bucks, right? Well, good for you then, Brandy. Stick your ground. Stand your ground then. Okay? I just don't want the hassle right now because I got too much shit going on up here, right? So exactly. Yes, that thing. Yes, selling her bath water for what, 35 pounds a pop or something. Good marketing strategy. Well done on her. Yeah. Yeah. And it's the same. It's the same dynamic when said women say, "Oh, don't objectify me," and yet look what they do themselves online. Right? So yes, random, kind of like a Python skit kind of thing, but a little more gestures than dialogue, right? Yes, and what's her name? Bella Thorne. Yeah, yeah. I had a coworker who had a thing for her. So It's okay. He was a bit younger at the time, so it was all right. But yeah, apparently she did a naughty thing. So, but she was the first one to complain too when someone hacked her phone and pictures of her and herself were out there. So, well, there's alphas that pay for the hardcore stuff. Yes, my last tour, there was a few accounts going around for some of the men to look at. Yes. So it's a two-way street. I don't condemn anybody for looking at it, but, if you're going to get into that on your platform, then you're going to have to take responsibility for it. Just like I'm taking responsibility for what I do here and what you do there. It's about being an adult, right? I've heard that too, Brandy, about the isolation facilities. It seems kind of very Jesse Ventura conspiracy theory-ish, right? Herding people like cattle. Yes, Kip. Well, it all depends where you go to see those shows. There's still parts of Canada where you can't. Right, but I know what you're talking about. And alphas, yes, they do too. But where I was with the other alphas, it's kind of hard because there's nothing but dudes around. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So there were accounts made. Mm-hmm. To say the least. Yeah. I'm not going to answer that, Kip. No. Use your own imagination. Well, folks, I'll give another couple more minutes. So ask me any more questions if you'd like. Let's see. Wicketer, are you still around? Give me a thumbs up, Wicketer, if you're still around. Oh, you can stick around, Mike. I'll be around for a few more minutes. And if you got any questions, Mike, by all means. Oh, okay. There you are, Wicketer. Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah. Like I say, everybody, I try to get the streams up every 2 weeks. So put your calendars 2 weeks from now. Keep an eye out. I keep all the information on my community page on the YouTube there, and I post on my Facebook page as well. You can find me at Crusty Canuck on FB, on Instagram, on Parlay, and on Twitter, and on Wimkin if it does come back. So keep an eye to that. And just take a look at my community page now and again to find updates of new episodes and when I go live. So, yeah. So feel free to ask me any more questions, folks. I can give another few more minutes. Like I say, I haven't got enough views yet. So if you can, please check out all my other videos. Let's get the views up there. And I think I need about 1,000 hours of actual views. So if you all choose 10 videos of your choice and watch them or play them or whatever, by all means, it'll help me out a big deal. So with all due respect, Mike, no. A part of me does miss it. Honestly, I do miss it somewhat. But I don't like the political correctness that has taken over the past 3 years. And I've actually dealt with some good officers, and I've dealt with some bad officers. And I'm at a point now, too, where I don't really care what degree anybody has or what kind of diploma anybody has, you treat your men like garbage. I'm not your friend. I'm not, I won't tolerate that. So, as much as I miss it, Mr. Shoesmith, no. The only time I'll actually pick up a gun again in the name of this country is that if it's absolutely necessary, i.e. a civil fight, an invasion, or if our livelihoods depended on it. So, yeah, I noticed that, Kip. Have you noticed those recent commercials that I go on to? How about you there, Mike? Seen those recent commercials? Yeah. I do too, Random. I don't want to see that again. I don't. Right. What unit you're with there, Mike? I was with the school briefly, and then I was never one PPCLI. I was going there, but I ended up instructing instead. So, no, not a problem. You're still serving, buds. That's all right. Not a problem, But I'm also dipping my foot into politics too. So, if you guys want to check out the Veterans Coalition Party, by all means. I worked with the leader of that party before, so it's legit, it's well-grounded, and it's realistic, and it's full of common sense. So check out the Veterans Coalition Party if you can. So, not a problem there, Mr. Shoesmith. You served to the best of your effing ability. All right. And I'll remind all you all again, too, please consider donating if you can. I sent the link there in the chat. And you can find more of the links at the end of my videos and all my description columns, just under the headings of all my sources and resources when it comes to my criticisms. All right. So by all means, check it out. Right. And like I say again, please consider looking at my community page every so often. You'll see updates on when my next live stream is and when my next episode becomes available. So no problem, Mike. You just do what you can. You just truck along there. That's doesn't matter what trade you're in. How many years you got in now? Oh, fuck, you got trade buds. You're laughing right down. So, well, as well as I do, you're going to meet some great people and you're going to meet some shitty people. The best thing is just to swim through it. No pun intended, right? You too, random guy. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming out. Will too, Wade. All the best to you, buds. Cheers. Take care, Kip. Take care, Mike. All right, take care, Wickeder. Like I say, folks, keep an eye on the community page. I'll give you updates whenever I can, and I try to get a live stream up every 2 weeks, so you can ask me all the questions you want, and please feel free to donate if you can, and I'll just leave it at that. Roger that, Fob. Take her easy. Well, that looks to be about it for me, folks. So thank you very much to everyone who has come out this evening. Another successful live stream because of viewers such as yourself. Thank you very much. Thank you once again to all my new subscribers out there, and especially everyone who's given me some really good positive comments in the past few weeks. Thank you very much. Please share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. You do feel like donating, like I said, there's links in the description in every one of my videos, or you can check me out on Podbean there. Just look for Crusty Canuck, and you'll see the maple leaf and my silhouette there. And as I always say, folks, look after your friends and your loved ones. And thank you once again to everyone who showed up. And remember, Humanity and merit wins the day. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.